was so funny that time.
Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Clarity Social TV. My name is Paul Church from Clarity Crafts here in the UK. And today we're joined by a good friend, Deborah Wheeler. Good morning.
Morning, everyone. Hi, Paul.
Happy New Year.
Indeed. It feels a bit late to be saying.
I know.
What's the latest date you can say
I suppose
that?
the end of January, possibly.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
All right.
And not just only a Happy New Year, but it was a Happy New Year for more than one reason for you this year, wasn't it?
It was. I got promoted to grandma.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah, fantastic.
And that was
very sweet.
Very early, 4th of January.
4th of January, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's grandma rather than granny or nanny or grandma.
Yeah,
right.
Grandma
so
Deb.
Grandma Deb.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
It feels really weird. My mum was my mum's grandma was grandma. So kind of talking about me as grandma feels very strange.
So what we'll do, lovely Jilly is in the room with us today. The sound is nice and clear. Thank you, Jilly. So if you've got any questions, she's there to help. And no doubt, I can see we've got lovely Sonia's in the room as well. Many of our design team friends will probably be joining us throughout the hour as well.
And we got a new camera.
And we have a new camera. So fingers crossed, the remote control, because it's all remote control. Before, we'd have to stretch up and we'd do it sort of manual. I used to call it my groovy yoga when I reach out. And I used to get static. But now, fingers crossed, it's controlled.
Let's pray.
By this.
Wonderful.
So I can see we've got many friends joining us already this morning. So good morning, welcome. I hope the weather's not too bad where you are. I know our friends up north in Scotland is not very good, and in Northern Ireland. So
well, the only thing to do is stay home and craft, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, another version of the shack.
Exactly. Exactly.
So today, Deborah's chosen a couple of sets of sort of favourites, haven't you?
Yep.
So we've got Tina's Doodle stamps, and then we've got the Crescent Moon stamps as well.
This afternoon.
So I thought what we would do, Deb decided that we'll split it up into two different shows. We're going to show you obviously what's coming up over the course of this hour at 10 o'clock and also at 2 o'clock. And so to kickstart, what Deb decided to go, it's all about the mini makes, isn't it, really?
Yeah. And they've really taken off. And the Mini Makes
really
Facebook page, if you're not in it already, Clarity Crafts Mini Makes and ATCs,
yes,
I think.
Over on Facebook.
Over on Facebook.
I think earlier in the week there was about 850 people, but I know it's increasing.
It's growing. It's growing. But actually, and those of you who've seen my cards before and the sort of stuff I do very clean and simple. Yeah. Otherwise, sometimes I think people must look at it and think, oh, she couldn't really be bothered. But
that's what you said earlier.
Behave. They work perfectly for smaller cards and mini makes. I tend not to make very big cards unless somebody specifically asks for it. You know, that always feels like I'm pushing myself. My comfort zone is the smaller, cleaner
4x4, 5x5,
6x6 if I have to.
Right, okay, so let's give you the details of what we've got during the course of this hour. So we'll bring that up on the screen for you. If you're tuning in for the first time and thinking, what's it all about? Alfie, as they say, the item number at the top, 11483, is the item number you would put into our website, which is claritycrafts.com, or you can give our UK call centre a call, which is underneath the studio, on 01732 868 215. Now, you may want to get a pen and a piece of paper because we'll be looking at various different products during the course of this hour and next hour. But what we have here, we have Kiss by Clarity, Tina's Doodles A5 stamp and stencil collection. So you've got two A5 stamp sets here, which are normally $19.99 each.
Yeah.
And you've got that stencil, which is really, really useful, the simple shape stencils, and all the little bits that pop out as well. And that should normally be £45.97. Now, what we're doing, we bring it to you at £29.97. That's a £16 saving. And if you belong to any of our craft clubs, you also get an additional discount. So, for example, a Diamond Club member, they would only be paying £25.47.
I mean, that must be almost a stamp set free.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, if you think they're £20. So basically, if the stamps are £20, the stencil's £6. So a Diamond Club member is going to pay 25. So it means, they're going to get the other A5 for free. So,
It's a
okay,
really
so
good deal.
what we're going to do now is we're going to put this new overhead camera to the test. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll look at the stamps in a little bit more detail. They are available as individuals. If you wanted to go, we'll bring these ones in first. So we'll bring that one in. Let's see if we can get this one right.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
There we go.
There we go.
So this is the first set. So this one is item number 11481.
Yeah.
This is the Sunshine Doodles. Normally, I'm going to change the details on the screen, which is that one there. Normally $19.99, special price of $14.99, which brings it down to $12.74 as a Diamond Club member. So let's have a look at some artwork, shall we, on this one?
Because these are great. So you've got the 4 circle sentiments with options to use, and then all of these small stamps. I can't remember. Have you got a number there? How many are there in the
how many
set?
is on the packaging, isn't it?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, actually, I've got a packaging here. 26 stamps.
23 on that one.
23.
23
oh, yes,
on that one. 26
set.
on the other. There we go.
Yeah. What's that? 49 stamps for the whole bundle.
I'll take your word for that.
It's good, I think. So yeah, I'm just really
Should
versatile.
we do the test to this camera? We're
Go
gonna,
on then.
if we,
Are you
we're
going to
gonna
come in?
zoom in close, and we're going to come in so that we can see it. Let's see if this works now. Okay, getting flashy. Try not to get too flashy, Paul.
Strap yourselves in.
There we go.
friends.
So we can see now.
Excellent.
Look, we can really see the details of these.
I was going to say a
stamps,
fantastic little detail. Perfect, as I said earlier, for the mini makes for making small
the
cards.
ATCs.
But also, you'll see when we get onto the design team samples, you can build them up, mix and match them together, and make bigger cards and scenes with them. And obviously, the 2 sets interchange as well.
Because they've been doodled by Tina, it's that same style, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're lovely graphic design. Love these toadstools.
Really funky,
just
aren't
brilliant. They're just brilliant.
And you've got the 4 different sentiments. So the top one says, "You are my sunshine." The next one is
sending love your way.
Yeah.
Thinking of you, petal, and wishing you well.
So really nice little sentiments there, aren't they?
Lovely little flowers. I love this dragonfly.
That's a typical Tina one, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's such a fab little image.
So let's have a look at some artwork then. So this one is from Debbie McMullen.
So Debbie's used the stencil on this.
Oh, of course, yes.
Pop the positives, the bits that pop out, down as masks, and then blended ink round it, and then stamped the circle sentiments into there, and just used a little stamp to infill each one.
Nice. So
really lovely, and that looks like it's on a piece of 3.5-inch square stencil card, the small one.
So this one's from Sonia. So we'll bring that one in there. There we go.
That's lovely. This is so Sonia. It's really arty, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you can go from clean and graphic style
to graphic.
Really
clean and simple.
Oh, and graphic style.
Graphic.
Thank you.
See, if I hear the word graphic, I think that's quite violent.
Okay.
Okay.
You're watching the wrong movies.
I am watching the wrong movies.
Into more of a mixed media arty style. But you can see here, so the circle sentiment is stamped here.
Yeah.
She's used the dragonflies, some of the leaves around here, and the little flowers as well. So really just built it up on an inky background.
Nice.
I think that's the Bubbles Burst stencil, I
think so, yeah.
Looks like to me.
Then we have another one from Sonia. Look at these little trees.
I know.
That's true
so
Tina,
those
isn't it?
are here.
Yeah.
That's these. And then Sonia's stamped them and coloured them in. So they look like a little forest. And then look here. So she's used the stencil in the background to create the circles, and then stamp the sentiments into them. So they look like clouds.
They do, don't they?
And then just a strip of designer paper
across the bottom. Really nice. Then, oh look, we were obviously on a Sonia roll.
Here's Sonia again.
So there's another one. So Sonia's created a lovely wreath.
And we've been doing wreath building with the with the builder wreath sets. But these workers, so small stamps are perfect for building wreaths.
Yeah.
Really.
Really lovely. Then we were changing on to someone else. We've got Jane Telford now. That was funny, that one.
Yes.
So Jane's just used one of those, and she's used the stencil as an embedder, hasn't she?
She has. I'm going to do that later on one of my demos to use those bits. So this is the one with the fluted scalloped edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but lovely.
And then this flower here is from the Kiss collection that Barbara was showcasing on Monday.
That's right.
So really, really lovely there. Then this one is another one from Jane Telford. We must have put them all.
Oh,
Did we put them in alphabetical order?
So Jane's done a panel here, blended ink, and then heat embossed one of the flowers. It's this one.
That one there.
That one there is heat embossed, rotating it round.
See if I can zoom out a little bit. There we go.
Better?
That's
lovely.
better.
And then just the circle sentiment with the flower in it.
In the middle, really.
But
really
these
nice.
on their own make just fantastic little toppers.
Yeah, and tags as well.
Note cards, brilliant for note cards.
Yeah.
If you want to make a set of note cards for somebody.
Then we have this one from Elaine Milner, and she's used those stencils again to embed.
She has. Yep, they're embedded. And then again, just the sentiment, but then used all the little stamps around
to create the scene.
To create that lovely little. It's really fresh looking, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Then we've got one from Debbie McMullen. I quite like this one. This one is using it on stamp board.
Oh yes.
Really, really nice. It adds a little bit of dimension to it, and decorating all the little circles.
I'm guessing she's drawn these circles.
I wonder whether
they're smaller. No, they're smaller than that.
Smaller than that.
Yeah.
She must have used another stencil on that one.
Yeah, so they're drawn in, but then the sentiment sits around it.
Nice. And then finally, we're back with Sonia on this. I like this one.
This is lovely, isn't it?
I really like this. Look at these little scenes.
What this demonstrates really well, I think, is how you can use. You can start with small toppers. You don't need something big, but actually build a number up together, and you can make a bigger card, a larger card if you want one. So you don't get overfaced with a huge design. But these gorgeous dragonflies, I don't know if we can catch it on the camera.
If I come in,
they're sparkly.
I'm going to go on this one. See if we can come in and then.
Let's see if I can do this. Look, you can just catch the sparkle. There we go.
That.
Catch the sparkle on those.
A bit
really
of
lovely
glitter on there, I reckon.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Really nice. Okay, so that is the first set in the collection. Then we're moving on to the second set. So this one is, I'll change the details on the screen. So this is the Buttercup set from Tina, 11480, normally $19.99 and a special price of $14.99. So it's a similar concept. You've got the four different sentiment circles, and then you have all these little sort of decorative elements to them, don't you?
Yeah, so this is more flowers and leaves. The other one had toadstools, butterflies, dragonflies, etc.
There we go. So this is nice. This is from Andy Duggan, and you could see how he's used that stencil to put the colour through and create like colour blocks.
Yep, just kind of overlaying it. And then just add little accents from the various stamps in different colours.
Yeah.
Really even this one, look, if you can see, there's raindrops there, here. There's the raindrop stamp.
Oh, yeah. See, sometimes we look at a set of stamps and you're automatically drawn to a certain area, aren't you?
True.
And you often forget that of all those little details.
And this little bubbles one is stamped in here.
Like that.
It's really clever.
That's really nice. Then this is from Tina herself.
It's lovely. This is my
and
style.
It really shows like the mini makes. You've got the embedder on there.
See if I can,
it wouldn't be a card from Tina without some perga glitter on there.
It's lovely. The dragonfly is fussy cut.
Yeah, and I think that's from the other set, isn't it?
Yes, from that first set. That's right.
Okay. And then we've got another piece from Andy. So again, as you said, crisp, clean, grungy, arty.
And it's all one layer.
It is, isn't it?
These aren't pieced in. It's with the background, putting the positive piece down from the stencil set, and then just blending some ink around the outside to darken the area. So it's that faux illusion that Barbara often does with her moon mask.
With the pencils and
to actually darken the outside area makes the internal bit lighter.
And then we've got one here from Linda Spencer. This is pretty, isn't it?
That's sweet.
Little flower boxes.
That is really sweet. Yeah. Yeah.
Really,
again, it's all one
layer.
It's all one layer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But these make such lovely little, window boxes.
Window boxes, isn't it? Yeah. Then we've got another one from Linda Spencer here. This is quite nice. It using the centerpiece as that focal center, isn't it?
Yeah, and another wreath. Building out almost feathered, but this time stamping them at right angles to the circle instead of around.
Yes. Yeah.
And then using the tiny flowers.
It looks quite sort of peacocky.
It does, doesn't it?
I think that style of that little leaf on there. Then we've got another one from Andy Duggan. Again, really grungy. I reckon that's a bit of a mop-up, don't you? From
I think so. I do like an inky background, to be honest. But again, he's masked off around here. This is not pieced on. This is all completely flat. It's just the masking and then where you shade darker ink onto it.
Yeah. So apparently one of our friends watching, Sally, says these would work well for inserts or to decorate envelopes.
They would actually.
They would, wouldn't they?
Really good.
Really would work well. Then this one is from Tina Morris, and she's just used the sentiments from this collection and then some stamps from another stamp set.
Yes, which is, hopefully, it's the Blackbird
Has Spoken.
Yeah.
Of course, yes, those lovely. Yeah, I remember those.
But she's embedded. If you can just,
you can see that.
So she's embedded around the sentiments. So again, that will be using that little piece from the stencil set.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the final piece we've got to share from you. This one's someone called Deborah Wheeler.
Oh, okay. Are they new?
So this is a piece that Deborah's created, and what Deborah's going to do is she's going to show us how to recreate this. Now, if you tune in at various different times throughout the show, what you'll also find on our website are our downloads. So when we bring you Clarity Social TV, and we shared sort of various different demos with you, on the Clarity website, you'll be able to go on there. There's a button that says Clarity TV. You click on there and you'll see exactly what's happening in the current show or the last show that we've brought to you. Above that, you've got Clarity Craft and Catch Up. You click on there and you can go in there, you can see the last show, and then there'll be the demos that Deborah's going to share with us. And everybody, like when Barb does it, when I do it, and you can just download them, print them off, put them in a folder, and then they're there for maybe when you get your stamps, or just for some ideas and inspirations, haven't you?
Yeah.
So,
and the other thing is, because I blog every day, all of these demos that I'm doing today will be blogged over the coming days as well, as a pictorial step by step. Because sometimes I'm conscious on the shows, you and I talk too much and we jump stages and skip over stuff. So it can be quite, some people find it helpful to have it as a written step by step as well. So you've got actually all bases covered.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. And before we Deb gets going, we will get going. There's just another set of stamps I want to share with you. Yes. So we're going to bring these up on the L for you. And Barb shouted about these in her blog last night, which is barbaragrayblog.com. And what we'll do, we'll just bring up the details for the full collection, and then we'll have a look at them individually on the overhead. So let's see if this will work. That's gone back to things. So I reckon if I go to that one, there we go.
That's good.
So for this stamp set on its own, it is 11369. And you've got the moons. These are sort of like mini sort of two-way overlays, aren't they? Because you've got the minis and the outies.
Yeah, crescent moons. But actually, what we were talking before we came on air, Paul, weren't we? There are lots of other stamps in these sets as well. And I'm going to talk a bit this afternoon about actually, you can get, these moons are lovely, and we haven't had these on air, but go beyond them. Yes, shoot for the stars.
Absolutely.
And look at the other ones in the set, and actually, I'm not saying forget that, but no, when you look and see what else you've got,
the little workers.
You've got lots of other potential that isn't always about centering it around the moons.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the next one, all available individually. Yeah, the Hearty Moon. Item number 11370, $14.99.
It's perfect with Valentine's coming up.
Oh, of course, that's not far, is it?
No, next month.
And then the final one is the Leafy Crescent Moon as well.
I love this set.
So they're available individually if you want the complete collection where you've got that savings. So basically it's free for the price of two, $29.97. And if you are a Diamond Club member, then that brings it down to £25.47.
That's really good.
Just thought we'd get those out there for you now. So if maybe you can only tune in for the 1 hour.
Yep.
So where are we going to go?
We're going to start with this one.
Where are we going to go? Okay.
Well, we'll stay here, shall we, for a bit?
Stay here. So
I'll get my glasses on so I can see what I can do.
Let's see if I get the camera right on this one. We're going to come in there we go.
Okay, so when I was planning these, I was thinking, and you'll see, actually, as we went through the samples, a number of the design team had done them as well. But of course, we've recently had the Builder Wreath, and I was thinking, actually you can make wreaths with these as well. They don't just have to be stamp and plant.
Yeah.
What else can we do with them that builds on the circle sentiments? Because I think that's the really helpful thing with this set, is having those round sentiments that you can then build images and designs around and with.
Yeah.
That's really the difference in these sets, rather than a straight sentiment or, you know, one that's offset or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, this time you've got circles.
You can
make scenes within them or scenes around them. So, so I thought I'd have a go.
Perfect. Okay. So where do we start?
Right. So I started with a square of the 3.5 inch stencil card.
Yeah.
Which is one of my go-to pieces always.
Okay.
You can do this by eye. I'm never very good at centering by eye.
No.
As in, it's usually off center then. So first thing I did was draw myself some pencil grid lines on my card. So I literally measured with my Pergamano ruler, which is really helpful because it's got this grid on it. So you can see these come up about 9 centimeters, and then just mark at 4.5, draw the line down, and then do it on the other side as well, and you've got that square grid.
Perfect. Okay. I would do the same.
Yeah.
I would do a pencil line.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this one's pre-mounted, but then mount it on a Clarity, one of the mega mounts. This is the 4x4 mega mount, which is perfect. And with them having these grid lines on as well, it's really good for centering on square cards. So if I line up here like this, you can see, let me just sit that down because my stamp's clean. This is sat neatly around the card, so I can then make sure I get the middle as well.
So potentially you could do away with drawing those pencil lines and use your mega mount as a guide.
You've got either option. If you don't have these, then the pencil lines are helpful. Okay, so I'm going to stamp it with black archival ink.
Yeah.
Which is a relatively new ink pad.
It's got the same as Barb.
Yeah, I learnt that from Barb. Date your ink pads. I think when I was here in November, I was having trouble getting an image out, and we realised it was my ink pad that had gone a bit shonky. So grabbed a new one out of the box, and it made the world of difference. Which is an important point to remember, actually, because if you think you can't stamp, it might be your ink pad that just needs refreshing.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just planting that in the middle. Okay. Get paranoid about stamping on TV. Sorry.
It's fine. There's
I would never hold
watching.
It. There we go.
Watching.
These are lovely, crisp images. You know, the font and the writing is
it's really nice, great. Isn't it?
Okay, so having done that, I want to put the leaves around it.
Okay, I'm just going to try something while you're doing that. So let me just, wrong way. There we go, more central for you.
Right, well, I'm just looking at this stamp set and I can't see my wreaths. My leaves. Oh, it's here.
There it is. It's at the bottom.
Now that's a message, actually, is there are so many stamps on here. I'm looking for the image I was trying to find. It's actually down here at the bottom.
And because you've used it,
I've used it. You can see it as well, but I couldn't see it for looking.
There we go.
So I want to use this one and stamp it round there in a circle.
Okay.
If you're not confident about stamping in a circle, you know, because it's easy to wander off slightly and get it misaligned. This is one of the nested embedders. It's the smallest one.
Oh, right. Okay.
But it's a good size for this because it's just that bit bigger.
Right. Okay.
So one thing I'd say is when you've got embedders and the stencils and stuff, what you'll find is you've got lots of different sizes, some of which are only slightly different from each other. But that slight difference can make a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see through them. So I'm just going to sit it on there, hold it down with my finger, and then go for it with my pencil.
Okay. And it's just, as you say, it's just to give you that guide.
It's just that guideline. I only need to do it really lightly. All the shackers out there will be used to doing this, but I've now got a guide around my sentiment.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna stamp it 4 times. So I'm gonna go top, bottom, and each side.
Right.
The other helpful thing I found is just for lining up. I'm using one of the Clarity mounts. I use these sideways.
Yes, I can see what you're doing.
I use these sideways because I can see, and I'd say play with them and find out what works best for you, because Barb uses them the other way up.
Yeah.
I use them sideways just because I found this worked for me. So it's about what you're comfortable with.
Absolutely. And what you're doing, you're lining up the edge of the mount, aren't you, with your piece of card?
But I'm also, when I've got the stamp down, lining the stem and the top of the leaf on my circle.
Yes.
Yeah, then I can come at it. Otherwise, what's the point of drawing the circle? I might as well not
got
bother.
to have a purpose, hasn't it?
This is true. This is true. Okay, right, let's just go in. Stamp it down. Okay, and then I'm going to spin.
Yeah. So you're making the artwork come to you.
Yeah. So I'm always stamping in the same direction.
Yes.
Rather than trying to, and then, so as I go back in and down again, I'm looking for the pencil line and putting the stem and the top leaf on the pencil line. And
I suppose if any of our friends at home have got a stamping platform, then you could use that as well, couldn't you?
It's true. There are some things on the market now as well that help you stamp things in circle fashion. I think,
there was something back in the day, I remember, I think it was Ink Dink Do. They were green gadgets, and you had like a wheel, and it was like a cog system.
Right, look, now look, part of my stem's not come out, but it doesn't matter.
That's where the micron pens come in.
Well, actually, that's where my flowers are going. So.
Oh, of course, yes. See, it looks like a laurel wreath, doesn't it?
It does. Do you know, I thought this last night when I was was stamping it up, was those Greek Olympians with their the Romans with their laurel wreath. Yeah. There we go. Okay.
Nice.
So I'm then going to go to this little triplet of flowers.
Okay.
And
oh, look what Debs has got.
Oh, I had to play with it.
Debs has got the stamp pens. So we've got the stamp pens on the show. We've got a set of 4, which is item number 31749, 23.96 with a special price of $19.99. Now these prices will go up at the end of the month. So you've got a $3.97 saving there. However, I've seen all the orders coming in, and I know many of our friends have been going for 3 sets of them. So this is where you've got your biggest saving. It should be £71.88. You've got a saving of £21.89, bringing it down to £49.99. And if you're a Diamond Club member, it brings it down even further to £42.49.
Oh, all right, scrap that one.
We didn't see anything, don't worry.
So, having stamped it to make sure it's stamped out properly, which is always the best. Here's one I did earlier.
Okay. I had to wait for that ink to dry, really, didn't we?
We did. I didn't. Sometimes I found it can be useful, particularly with the round ones, if you just wiggle it, give it a little wiggle.
Yeah.
And then you make sure, which is what happened on that first one I did, where it didn't quite catch the top one.
You didn't wiggle enough, Debs.
Yeah. That's what I need to learn to do, is wiggle a bit more.
But they're quick. They're so easy to use, aren't they? They're so ergonomically to hold and
easy to ink up as well, because you can just dab it straight on your ink pad.
Yeah. There we go. It doesn't take long to. And is there a little individual flower as well? So if you needed to,
there is
an individual one.
It's got a little stem on it.
Right.
It's here. Let me take that backing sheet off so we can see it more easily. It's got a little stem on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you can easily
mask that off
and drop in an individual one.
Yeah.
And there's a border as well if you wanted it.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I saw that on some of the artwork.
So that's basically it on the stamping.
Okay, lovely. And those stamp pens, they really do make a difference.
Oh no, it isn't. So you've got options. I popped a little trio of stamps. I'd say get this the way up you want it.
Okay, so
I'm going for that. This has got 3 sentiments on it. Some of them have 2, some have 3,
on the length,
depending on the layout. And actually decide where you want your top to be.
Yes.
So I've got it running with the sentiment over the top.
Over the top.
Yeah. So I then also just popped a little trio in here. There we go.
Nice. It's just those little finishing touches, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the simple thing then is to colour it.
Right, okay.
A word of advice, choose your backing paper first.
Are you talking from experience there, Deb?
Bitter. Bitter. It can take me longer to find a matching backing paper than it does to make the whole card.
Absolutely.
I could be half an hour.
When we first started with Groovy and Parchment, and I know we'd be at Barb's studio above the garage, and we'd be prepping, we'd colour it in, and then we couldn't find anything to put it on to sort of complement it. And we'd go through all of Barb's where she'd sort of like mocked up the inky pad, and they were the ones that tended to work better on parchment. So you was creating this sort of like mixed media sort of scrappage to go behind the parchment. So that's really where the idea of the designer papers came about. So we've got various different designer papers, companion papers. If you go to the show page, you'll see the ones that Deb's has used. So let's have a look at what Deb's got here.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of, I think these are Waimea Falls, actually, which are lovely. And this is quite helpful. Sometimes I find I don't always know how to use some of the busier papers because I can't see them in backgrounds, etc. The ones that they're beautiful and I stroke them all the time, but actually putting them to use is a bit more tricky. The ones that are paler or whatever you can stamp on and do stuff with. It depends what. These are great for behind parchment as well because they're bolder.
They are.
But actually they make really good. Just cut it at 4x4 so you can get 4 out of one sheet of your designer paper, particularly if you want to make note cards. And then just pop it on and decide which one you want to go for. One you want. And actually I coloured 2 earlier. You don't need to watch me colouring, do you?
No, we can have a look at that a little bit later.
So look, I found this one.
That's lovely.
I think that's Waimea Falls as well. So I did the flowers in pink.
In pink, yeah.
And it's simple colouring, just a bit of pink and green, but just picking out the colours from your background. This one.
That one there.
That's nice.
So you picked up the more.
So I picked up the yellow and green. That looks quite spring.
It does.
If you look at them kind of together.
Spring, summer. Yeah.
This one, I didn't put the extra flowers in the middle. So you've got options as to whether you want to leave it like that or not, or put something else in the middle.
And I suppose if you want to, I mean, Barb was saying the other day when we was doing the stamping show, we was looking at Tina's other kiss flowers. So Barb has sort of 2 or 3 on the go at the same time. So I mean, one for best, one for test, one for best. But often if you've got several on the go, so these would be perfect for doing that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you could do if you wanted to make a set or do them different colours. Then you can do multiples at once and you've got them all set up. This would be really good actually to have. You could just have them made up with different ones and then just colour it as you want it, as and when you wanted it. So you've got them there ready. Sometimes you just need a quick card.
Yeah, definitely.
And some of these sentiments are very nice generic sentiments that you can just have made up ready.
Yeah, I mean we've got what have we got? We've got Chin Up Buttercup, Happy Birthday to You, Love You Lots, Sweet Pea, From Me to You, which is the one that you've just used.
Yes.
Then on the second set, we've got You Are My Sunshine, Sending Love Your Way, Thinking of You Petal, and Wishing You Well. So there's a really nice sort of mix of the different sentiments on both of those collections. So we'll just bring the details up. So should I have a look at the pack shot?
You have a look at the pack and I'll,
Okay. Right, okay. So this is the set of stamps that Debs has been sharing with us for the first demo. And I suppose in a way, when you look at the 2 different designs, they've got that perfect flexibility of being able to mix and match together. So the item number for this collection is 11483. It's Kiss by Clarity. And the idea behind Kiss, as we saw on Monday, was keep it simple stamps, keep it simple stencils, keep it simple stash. So normally this would be £45.97. And we've got a special price to you of £29.97. So it's a saving of £16. Now, if you go for the stamp sets individually, there's a £5 saving. So those £5 have been carried over and then you get the stencil for free because it's a £5.99 stencil. But if you just wanted to go for the Buttercup one that Deborah was using there, the item number is 11480 and it's £14.99 plus your club discount. If you want to go for the other set, which is those funky little mushrooms, this is Tina's Sunshine Doodles, 11481. But maybe you just want the stencil on its own. then that is also available, and the item number for that is 00904, and that's £5.99. Now, if it's the first time you've seen those lovely stamp pens, maybe you want to have a look at those. So a set of 4, and that gives you a square, a circle, a rectangle, and an oval. And the item number is 31749, special price of £19.99. But I know many of you at home have gone for the 3 sets of those. So you've got 12, you get 3 of each of the shapes, 31750, and that's a special price of £49.99. And these prices on the stamp pens will go back up at the end of the month. Are you ready for us, Debs?
I think so. Let's go for it.
Yeah? Okay,
yeah.
So let's have a look on the camera. I haven't got a thing to check whether I've pressed the right button or not. So should we give it a go?
Go on, go for it.
There we go.
Hey.
Right, so we're out on that one.
Hurrah.
So we're going to come in on that one. There we go.
Okay.
I'm sure that keeps it. I'm going to... You put your card where you want it to be.
Okay, that's good.
Are you comfortable there?
Yeah.
And when you're working?
Right.
Yeah?
That's good.
Okay. So what have we got here?
I'm really grateful for the new camera now. Can you imagine with the old camera? I was thinking last night as I prepped this, oh crikey, it's a white on white card.
On white, yeah.
And nobody would have been able to see anything with the
It'd just be a blur.
It would have just gone wonky. Okay. This is definitely in my simple happy place.
Okay.
But I was thinking, you know, this is mini make. So this is a 4x4 card blank.
Oh, of course, yes.
I've only used one of the flower stamps. We'll talk about how you can segment off part of the stencil. Then I've just built it up with embedders and die cuts.
That's really elegant.
But that's just one stamp. I do love
stamp.
white on white. It can look really classy.
Yeah. I'll just bring that stamp set in. So this is the this one is, I think this is the sunshine one.
Yeah,
yeah, the sunshine set, and it's that one stamp.
That one stamp.
Wow.
Just coloured, and then
wishing you
this
well
one
at the bottom.
At the bottom,
there
this one.
So that's probably quite easy to separate that one.
It is.
Oh, I suppose they all are because they're in two
It depends.
halves,
Some are easier than others, but yes, they're all pretty much easy. So we'll just talk about how to mask off your stamps.
Okay.
In order to do that.
So where do we start on this one?
So I'm going to start with a die cut, and I cut this out using the Doodle Frame It panel dies, the scallop circle.
Lovely.
Okay, which is really nice. So those Frame It panel dies are perfect with these stamps as well.
They really
and with the round sentiments, they give you really good toppers. It's a quick and easy way to get your to get your topper done. Have you got them there? Otherwise, I've got a set here in my box.
So I'm going to go, I think, to this one now. So let's come out to here. So these are our fresh cut dies. We've got them in the circles. There's 5 different designs, but this is the one that Debs has been using. So the item number for this is 31469. Normally £24.99, special price of £19.99. Now, if we turn it over, you'll see that they're all individual dies.
Yeah.
Okay. And the cutting edge is just on the outside. So what that means is that, just like Debs has done, if you cut them out individually, you've got your individual ones, haven't you?
Yes. So it gives you the panel with a border cut into it.
Yeah. That
which is great.
Decorative frame.
Yeah.
However, if you cut them all together, or you do several together, then you get what I call the floppy bits.
Yes. So these are good for if, like me, you decide you need a border after you've halfway through making your card.
Yes.
So you've got the option, and actually you could cut 2 together, and then if you didn't use an inner one here, you'd have a panel and a frame.
Frame. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that's the details for those if you're interested in those. I say we've got 5 different designs, but if we've got time at the end, we'll have a look at those in a little bit more detail.
Lovely. So I wanted to build this card up a little bit more. So if you can see, I've double embedded on this one. There's 2 embedders within and without.
Within and without.
So let's look at this internal one first, and that's using this, which is the positive piece from the stencil set. Perfect. It's the perfect size for the circular sentiments.
So this is the stencil itself. You can see there, and it's got your 6 different shapes on there. Okay. So you can see you've got your 6 different shapes, and you also get the little bits as Debs is using there. So this is the circle one.
Yeah. So you get all the shapes.
So you've got all the individual embedders.
So these are fantastic as embedders.
Perfect. Okay, I'll slide that out the way.
I've just gone with the plain circular one.
Yeah.
So circle embedders can feel a bit more tricky than square or rectangle ones.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what works for me.
Okay.
What I've found works for me.
So you're using the low tack tape.
Low tack tape, doubled over, and that's on the front of my die. On the front of
your. Okay.
Right. A piece of paper.
And you
Actually, do you know what? I'm going to let me get.
I was going to say you could use white because it wouldn't.
I could, but it doesn't show up very well, does it? So let's put it on a piece of buff paper. So I've turned it over, working on the back, same as you do with the square ones. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. This is what works for me. Tumble dry sheet and rub the back.
Okay. And
then I use a bone folder. These are dead cheap online.
Yeah.
But I like this curved one. It's got a bit of a heel on it.
Right.
Yeah. Heel?
I can see that. Yeah.
Laugh at me.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best here.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I would. Yeah, okay. Heel.
So I start out towards the edge.
Yeah.
I've only got a little way to go, so I go in and you press, and you butt against the
edge of the embedder.
The edge of the embedder, and then with this one I go up.
Right.
I find it easier, and just do a little bit and turn.
And so you're turning the paper, aren't you?
Turn the paper.
Yeah.
And you're just locating your embedder. If I start trying to go all the way round here, I lose it because I'll come off. So patience is the key. What's that saying? Less haste, more speed?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see there, you can see it just starting to come through. But then I just go in with my
groovy
number 2 groovy tool and then work round again. Thank you.
And this now sharpens up and gives it that
really good crease,
doesn't it? You can really see.
So peel that off the front, and I've got that lovely.
Look at that.
Internal.
Wow.
Frame.
Should we go super?
Oh, crumbs.
Hang on, which one was super? Was it? I think this was super. Hang on.
Right, let me move. There we go.
And that would just look at that.
Wow.
Nice fingernails.
Good job I had my nails done. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yep. Having done that, you can then stamp into the.
So you would do this first as opposed to stamping first?
Yeah. For this, I would, because it's small, and I want to align the stamp towards the bottom of the embedded because I'm putting a sentiment above it.
Yeah.
So I want to come down here with my stamp. So it's.
So if you've done the stamping first, you would have been doing it by eye, so to
I would. If I was just going straight in the middle, I might just plonk the stamp down first and then put the embedder on afterwards. Yeah. It depends where you're going and what you're doing. These are a bit big for the stamp pens, so I've got one of the mounts.
Clarity mounts, which you'll find all different sizes over on the Clarity.
It's it's really worth having the selection of sizes so that you've got one that's about the right size for your stamp. If I tried to do this on one of the bigger mounts, well, not even the mega mounts, but even the bigger handled mounts, that's also when you run the risk of it wobbling.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stamp it in green. I've got library green archival.
Okay.
Here now.
We've got those on the website as well.
And when I'm stamping, I've always got my hands down. I don't try and stamp from midair. I put the heels of my hands down because I can control what's coming down on my card.
Yeah.
The other helpful thing about when you're stamping on round card is you kind of go in and plant. You don't have to be definitely level with the bottom because you can realign it.
Yeah, I like your thinking there, Deb.
Been there, done that.
No, and it looks different in green, doesn't it?
It does.
I think sometimes we often forget to use different colours when stamping.
And it's quite nice for colouring because then when you shade the leaves in and things, actually you lose the line art becomes part of the colouring rather than a separate line. Right, so I'm going to, let's go with wishing you well again.
Okay.
Okay, and let me line this one up and we'll talk about how to getting the sentiment on. Right. Low tack tape.
The amount of low tack masking tape both Barb and Deborah get through.
Yeah, well,
but I mean, we've got them on the show. So if you want a pack of 4 of those rolls, item number is 31212. If you just want one, it's 31211.
Right. So, actually, do you want to come out a bit, Paul?
Yeah, I come out. So there we go. Out on that one. There we go.
There we go. Okay. So what I've done is found the end of my sentiment here.
Yeah.
Let me just, that's better. The end of my sentiment here.
Okay.
So I'm putting the masking tape across onto my mount.
Yeah.
And then right across here. I'm not bothered about this side yet. I'm going to come back in, but I'm going to stick it down there as well because I don't want it to pop off when I'm inking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So having done that, I'm going to get another piece. And then I'll come over the other way and I'll find this edge here.
Yeah.
And you can get right up to the letter.
Yeah.
To the lettering. But stick it down onto your...
Okay, so if I come in on the really close up now, so you probably need to move back a little.
Okay, yeah, let me come back.
There we go. So you can really see how you've gone right up to the...
Flip this. Does that might be a bit better.
Yeah, there we go. So you've gone right up to the edge.
And you can feel it with your fingernail.
Yeah.
So what I've got here, if I turn this over, we can see because it's already got ink on it. That's it.
Yeah, there we go.
Wishing you well. And then I've got the masking tape literally running either side.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Because these are really handy for curved sentiments, but I don't want the whole circle on this one.
Okay.
So then I can simply ink this, and I'm not worrying about
having to wipe off or
wiping off or because if you're wiping off, you never get it all off completely. Plus, your ink's drying on your stamp while you're doing it. Now, this is the important next step. Take your tape off.
Take your tape off.
I'm going to flip that back. Let's go there.
Okay.
Okay, and then I can see through again, and I can line this up, and I can drop that down. But it means I love the circle sentiments. They're really helpful, but they don't have to be circles.
Yeah, and it's really good. And when you think you've got like Chin Up Buttercup, you've got Happy Birthday to You. I suppose you can just use Happy Birthday because you would just mask off the to you.
Yeah.
Love You Lots, Sweet Pea. You can mask off Sweet Pea.
Yeah, yeah. There's another one that's got Thinking of You Petal, but you might just want Thinking of You. So you can just take that off. And they're such a lovely curve. They're exactly the right shape to sit against the embedder.
Really lovely, isn't it? That's really, and there's one on there you could go, it says You're My Sunshine, and you could just put You're My and put ...
Do you not think that's a bit risky?
You're my
whatever, fill in the blank.
Fill in the blank.
Choose.
It depends who you're sending it to.
All I did, so then trusty pergoliners, love my pergoliners.
Got those
they're
on the
my
show.
go-to. Mine are well loved.
Used.
But I did invest in a new
was it the green?
It's the green, it's the B. So you can see my little one up here, my lovely little stubby one, but I did invest in a new one.
So we do have them available individually if you're like Debs and you're down to the last. I mean, I think you can get
I was just going to say you can get
pencil extenders, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
I think Barb had. I think somebody sent one to Barb once when she was using her pencils that she uses in the shack. And
then, like Barb was doing with if you saw Barb's colouring on the poppies last night in the shack, I put down a lighter undercoat.
Yeah.
You don't have to be so detailed with your colouring on these. And actually, this one's lovely because there's all that line detail.
And are you using the B pencils or the A?
Well, actually, this is an A because this is A6 because this is the colour I wanted.
Yeah.
And when you're blending, they do work together. You don't have to use the A pencils as only watercolouring.
No.
They will work with the B pencils as well. They obviously won't work with Dorso oil, so you can't blend them together with Dorso oil.
Yeah.
So that's that one. And then I've got this darker one, which is B5.
Okay, so this is now the wax base pencil.
This is the wax base. So I'm just going to put a bit of definition into the centre of the flower. Just brings it out. And it's really helpful having the lines on this one because you can follow and just shade along the lines. So you're just picking up the shading along the lines there.
Yeah, that poppy last night was lovely,
Oh,
wasn't it?
fantastic.
Yeah.
I've got to do that. I'm going
I
to
watched it
try and
back
get some
this
time over
morning.
the weekend.
Oh,
But what I like
beautiful.
to do then is then go back in over with my lighter pencil.
So in a way, you're blending it unintentionally.
Yeah. And what that will also do is darken up your background where you haven't put the darker pencil on. Sorry, that was a bit inarticulate, wasn't it?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. See, these little stamps, I mean, the value for money on these little stamps, and because it's got Tina style to them, they cover all different ages, don't they? So this could be for a youngster, it could be for somebody later on in their years, they could be for birthdays, celebrations, anniversaries, and depending on the colouring as well. The colouring can make a difference. And so with this one, you knew what colours you wanted to go for. You weren't. I wouldn't say you was restricted by the backing papers, but you're not using any backing papers, are you?
So you can go with whatever colour. Yeah.
Other colours you want to.
Yeah.
These are really lovely. I love them with the doodle die. It gives that little bit of sort of luxury. A little gift tag. You could put a ribbon through there.
You could.
Couldn't you?
Yeah, that would be lovely.
Really nice as a gift tag.
Just for that. And these are fantastic for that. Great for ATCs.
Yeah. And as Sally said earlier, perfect for decorating the backs or the front of envelopes as well.
Or those little inside ones if you just want to stamp in the corner on the inside of your card.
Yeah.
And then I embedded the front of my card. And this time I used a nested embedder. So that's what I was saying about when you've got all the packs.
Yeah.
Then you've got choices of sizes. Let me show you.
So this is great. So you've got your 8 nested round embedders, and these are different sizes to your normal embedders. So, for example, so if you've got your normal round and oval embedders, the original set, which
have we got the round ones there?
Here. Okay. So there are the round. So this was the original one, wasn't it?
Yes.
So the rounds and the ovals.
Yeah.
And the rounds are different sizes to the rounds in here, aren't they?
Yes. And so it gives you multiple choices, but I discovered the nested one of the smaller nested ones, was perfect for being just that bit bigger than the scallop die.
Lovely.
And then again, it's the same principle for embedding. Is it boring if I do this again?
No. So people are always asking, Bob, how do you do the embedding? So it's good that we can sort of just show this. So if you want the nested circle or round embedders, the item number is 31429. I'll come back in, Debs. Hang on. Let me press the button. There we go. And if you want the original oval and round, the item number for that is 31324.
So the thing with the nested embedder is you obviously can't put double folded over
because it's got a hole,
masking tape in the middle, because it's like a polo mint.
Yes, it is.
So, but you can run a strip across because I know you can go over it. Yes, you're going around the outside, and then it's well anchored down. Remember when I was talking to people at the open day about embedders and using them? We're all quite frugal, aren't we, with our masking tape and things? And when you're using the embedder, that is not the time to
be frugal,
to penny pinch on your masking tape. You know, I don't know about anybody else, but I've got pieces of masking tape hanging on the shelf above my craft desk that I've probably used half a dozen times, that I'm like, oh, it's still got a bit of stick on it. It'll do.
It'll do what it needs to do.
Or you try and make do with 0.5 centimetre of masking tape to hold it. I think for the embedders, you just need to take a deep breath and go for it and treat yourself, because you want it held securely on the front of your card.
You do. Let me just bring this in, Debs. Hang on, go to that one there, and I'll just come out on that one, and we'll go to that camera. So this is a set of 4, and the item number up there is 31212, and 4 rolls of the low tack tape is £11.96, but the special price is £8.96.
That's good.
So you got a £3 saving if you buy the 4 of them, which means if you're a Diamond Club member, you're only paying £7.62. Wow. So you can be frugal if you wish, but
there are times to be frugal. Like when you're die cutting, you don't always want a load of low tack tape stuck across it, because it can catch your paper.
Yeah.
Particularly if it gets pushed really hard into the paper, the pressure from the machine. But this is not that time. So use a good length. I can use this again for something else, but maybe not for me embedding.
So you wouldn't recommend using some that's got some
I won't
ink
use
on
my
it?
one that's got green ink on it.
No.
Probably not.
No.
No. Okay, so I've stuck that on the front, and then I'm coming round to the inside and then back round with my
tumble dry sheet.
Thank you.
Do you want your heel again?
I do want my heel again. Let's get that out of the way. There we go. So again, it's start at the outside and you push in
until you find the
and then
edge.
the trick. So that's the other trick, is just maintaining a bit of pressure on it to find the edge. The circle ones take a bit more than the
square one.
The square ones, which is why it's worth doing it slowly and just in small sections.
There we go. You can see that as you're working, and you can actually see the embedded line already.
You can,
and this is on the reverse.
Just check I've got that top. Look, I went off a bit at the top there.
There we go.
There we go. And then my number 2 tool. So I tend to go up with that for a round one, and then I come down with my tool. It just,
I suppose
it works better. Yeah. So and that's what I say.
I suppose because you've already put the line in first.
Yeah, I can just draw around it effectively. Essentially, that's what you're doing with the Groovy tool, is drawing around it, isn't it?
But you can definitely see the difference in the crispness of the line,
really
even
pulls
on
it
the
out.
back.
Really
it sharpens
pulls it
it
out.
up, doesn't it? And this is always, you always have the embedder on the front, and then you're doing this on the back or the inside of the front of your card.
Yeah. Turn it over. Peel that off. There we go.
So we're going to come back in on that one. There we go.
Lovely crisp.
That is
circle.
So. Back in the day, you would buy card blanks that already had this in,
that's
wouldn't
right.
you?
Yes.
And they'd be so much more expensive because
that was done.
Had that
but also, you were limited then to what size frame you'd got on your card,
because it was whoever you was buying them from predefined what that size was. Yeah.
And then all that needs is a little bit of the
clarity tape, runners.
Clarity tape.
Yeah.
On the back, and just stick it straight down.
Okay.
I need to move so people can actually see what I'm doing. Again, the trick with these is not to go too fast with the tape, but allow it time to flow out of the dispenser. If you go really quick, you get kind of patchy bits and it misses bits.
Yeah.
Because you don't give it time.
I suppose it's like anything, you've just got to allow it to run off the roll, haven't you?
Yeah. This is the one point where you need to make sure that your flower stems are in the right place.
Is this going to be an Australian one, do you reckon? I reckon.
I did that last time, didn't I? I had it the wrong way around. There we go. That
is beautiful. It's so achievable. It's got the elegance to it, the white on the white with that splash of colour. You imagine, as you said, do a set of notelets on these and sell them, because you get the envelopes with the card blanks as well. So these lovely little 4x4s, the item number for
really
those
good.
Is 31685.
Yeah.
And you've got the 10 card blanks and the envelopes as well.
And if you make to sell, because Clarity's an angel company, then these are great for making little packs of 4 note cards in a set, or 4 or 5.
And a
band
gift
together
as well.
Really lovely gift. Great Christmas, Christmas gifts, birthdays,
gifts, anniversary, for all occasions. So so there we go. So we've got those items there.
And just to show, I did a couple more toppers. Exactly the same technique. This one I used the have you got the board there?
So that is from, hang on. See, you often forget which it's on.
It's all like the same set, So this one uses, let me come in shot. This flower.
Yes.
I just coloured it pink.
Yeah.
And it's got Sending Love Your Way. So that's that one.
Okay, so this is from the Sunshine
I think these are all from the Sunshine Doodles set. So that's that one. And then I thought, oh yeah, look, it works with the toadstool.
Nice. I like, they're so funky, aren't they? So Tina.
And I just put a little pencil colouring across the bottom, but that's just pencil coloured with the pergoliners. You need a sharp pencil for that one.
To go into that
to go around the dots. And if you catch the dots, you could always pop go over it with a Posca pen to put the dots back on your toadstool. And then the happy birthday to you is in the other set. It's
from
in the
other set,
Buttercup
from the
Doodle
Buttercup set.
set.
Yeah.
But
So
again, exactly the same, just masked it off.
wow.
Same principle.
That's lovely. I love just having these little toppers.
Yeah.
And again, on the 4x4 card blanks on the white on white, with those embedders, whether you go for the nested, for me, the nested circle embedders would really give you sort of like the different sizes
Yes,
as well.
they would.
As the original set of the ovals and circles as well. Lovely. Wow, would you believe that it is literally 10:59?
That is the first time I have ever managed that.
Couldn't have planned that even better, could we? So thank you for joining us. We're back at 2 o'clock and we're going to have a look at those Crescent Moons collections.
We are.
So if you go to the Clarity TV button on our website, you'll be able to see all the other products that Deborah's using during the course of this hour and the next hour at 2 o'clock. So I hope you can join. It's been brilliant. I love these tiny little mini mates.
So cool. They're so cool.
Really, really lovely. So, right, I think we're going to go and grab a coffee now.
Oh, yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got any cake?
Oh, there's Greg's around the corner.
Okay.
I'll pop round.
Okay. Thanks for Gilly for helping out in the chat
Gilly.
room and the design team. And we will see you at 2 o'clock.
Wonderful.